Welcome to episode 4 of the Super Bowl 60 preview by review. The fourth meeting between the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks happened in Week 16 of the 1983 season. Ron Meyer led the 8-7 New England Patriots into the Seattle Kingdome to take on Chuck Knox and the 8-7 Seattle Seahawks. This is the final game of the regular season for 1983, 4 p.m. kickoff. Looking at the scoring, in the first quarter, Norm Johnson hit a 29-yard field goal to give Seattle a 3-0 lead. In the second quarter, Steve Largent caught a 46-yard pass from Dave Craig. Norm Johnson's extra point was good, and Seattle led 10-0. Then Derek Ramsey caught a 33-yard pass from Tony Eason. The point after was not made, cut Seattle's lead to 10-6 at the half. In the third quarter, Dan Dornink caught a 16-yard pass from Dave Craig. Norm Johnson's extra point gave Seattle a 17-6 lead. In the fourth quarter, Dave Craig ran it in from 2 yards out. Norm Johnson's extra point gave Seattle a 24-6 victory. The game was played in a dome on AstroTurf. The Seahawks were favored by 2.5, and they covered. Of the 4 meetings between the Patriots and Seahawks, 3 have now occurred in the Seattle Kingdome, and Seattle cuts New England's all-time series lead to 3-1. New England turned the ball over 3 times to Seattle's none. Statistically, for the Patriots, Tony Easton threw for 104 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He was sacked 3 times. Mike Kerrigan threw for 72 yards and 1 interception. Tony Collins led the Patriots in rushing with 48 yards, and Derek Ramsey had 52 yards receiving on 3 receptions for 1 touchdown. For Seattle, Dave Craig threw for 230 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was sacked 5 times. Kurt Warner, no, not that Kurt Warner, the one before, ran for 116 yards and 26 touchdowns. And Steve Largent had 133 yards receiving and 1 score. On defense for the Patriots, Julius Adams had 2 sacks. Roland James, Steve Nelson, and Andre Tippett each had a sack, and Ricky Smith recovered a fumble. For Seattle, Dave Brown had an interception for 5 yards, and Kenny Easley had an interception for 15 yards. Jacob Green had 3 sacks. Greg Gaines forced a fumble, and Bruce Schultz recovered 1. Returning kicks and punts for the Patriots, Ricky Smith had 18 yards on 1 kick return and 22 yards on 2 punt returns. For Seattle, Zachary Dixon had 60 yards on 2 kick returns, and Paul Johns had 32 yards on 3 punt returns. The uniform matchup, much like the previous 2, features Seattle in their home colors, New England in all white, white pants, white jerseys, and white helmets. The game was played on NBC with Charlie Jones and Bob Greasy on the call. Your final score of 24-6, looking in scoregami, if we can get to the page, has happened 39 times as of the current recording date. The Pottsville Maroons and Cleveland Bulldogs were the first in 1925, and most recently the Cincinnati Bengals and Cleveland Browns just before Christmas in 2024. So that is your third meeting between the Patriots and Seahawks, and the Patriots still lead the series 3-1. Stay tuned in the coming days for more Super Bowl preview by review.